Hello everyone, welcome back to our course on usability engineering. So this is week 12, our final week, and I am Gaurav Kumar, your teaching assistant instructor. So in this lecture, we are going to wrap up our journey by exploring advanced heuristics evaluations, integrating it with a usability testing, and finally analyzing and reporting findings. We will also walk through key MCQ from assignment 12 with detailed explanations. So let's dive into the heart of usability evaluations. Okay. So let's start with quick recap of Jacob Nelson's usability heuristics. Recap of usability heuristics. So these 10 golden rules act like a north star for interface evaluations. So we have seen how visibility of system status ensures users are always informed, and how error preventions save users from mistake before they even happen. So think of them as usability vitamins. Without them, your design get sick. So we will see them in action again through the questions later on. Okay, so next one is advanced heuristic evaluations technique. So moving ahead, heuristic evaluations isn't just about ticking boxes. Advanced techniques involves expert walkthrough, severity ratings, and cognitive walkthrough. So experts critically review the interface, identify violations, and rate them based on severity, from cosmetic to catastrophic. So, so the goal is to prioritize fixes. So this method is fast, cost effective, and does not even need user in early stage. Okay. So next one is integrating heuristics evaluations with user testing. So now you might wonder, can we combine heuristics and actual users testing? So yes, and we should. So heuristic evaluations help us identify the problems theoretically, while user testing validates them practically. So together they form a powerful feedback loop. For instance, if a heuristic points to poor navigations and users struggle to find information in testing, so it confirms a real world issue. Okay. Next one is usability testing best practices. So usability testing isn't just watching users click, it's a science. Some best practice starts early, define clear goals, pick representative users, and create realistic tasks. So always observe but don't interfere. So think of yourself as a detective, not a director. So capture actions, emotions, pauses, and confusion. So they all all tell the stories. Now, next one is conducting effective usability tests. So, when conducting tests, ensure the environment feels natural to the user. So, tasks should reflect real goal, like buying a product, not just clicking buttons. Okay. So always record the sessions, video, audio screen capture. So encourage think aloud. So ask user to verbalize thoughts. So this uncover the hidden pain points and helps designers to understand the user's mindset. Okay. Now next one is usability testing result. Analyzing usability testing result. Uh, so after testing, the goal is in the analysis. So look for patterns. Where do users hesitate, fail, or make errors? So use metrics like time on task, success rates, and number of errors. Combine this with subjective feedback to get a 360 usability view. So remember, one user struggling is an any coded. So five users struggling is a pattern. Okay. So basically focus on data collections techniques, observational notes, screen recording, and post test server. And next one is key metrics to realize. So task success rates, errors rates, time taken for task, and participant satisfaction rates. These are important. Next one is identifying the pattern. So look for a trend in user behavior and common pain points across tests seasons. So now next one is reporting finding for usability testing. So structure of usability report. So execute the finding and recommendations and specific detailed findings, specific utility issues identified during testing and suggestions for improvement. So actionable recommendations for enhancing usability. So and the next one is visual ads. So include a screenshot charts and graphs to illustrate finding clearly. Okay, so let me explain it. So good analysis must be translated into actionable reports. So don't just dump data. Tell a story. Use a visual like heat maps, flow diagram, and highlight the codes from users. So categorize issues based on severity and always suggest solutions, not just problems. So this helps the teams to take the right actions at the right time. Okay. Next one, iterating based on feedback. So feedback is useless unless it leads to change. Once you have usability insights, so it's time to iterate, make design change, retest if necessary, and close the feedback loop. So remember, design is not a one-time act. It's a cycle of listening, changing, testing, and improving. Okay. So it's the continuous process. So importance of iteration is to use feedback from heuristic evaluations and usability testing to inform design changes. Okay, and continuous improvement cycle is very important in the design process. Okay, so implement change, retest, and with users and refine further based on new insights. And next one, stakeholder involvement. So keep stakeholder informed throughout the iterations process to. Uh, to ensure alignment. Okay. So next one is summary of the week. So what we learned, to summarize, this week we learned about advanced heuristics, combining them with usability testing, analyzing result, and making informed changes. We also saw how metrics help quantify user experience. Okay, so understanding and applying the usability heuristic is essential for effective interface design. So integrating heuristics evaluations with usability testing enhance the overall design process, and continuous iterations based on user feedback leads to improved usability and user satisfaction. And the final thought is to emphasize the importance of user-centered design principles in all stages of product development. Okay, so now let's reinforce these with some MCQ that are rich in learning. Okay, so our very first question is, what is the primary goal of usability testing? Please pause the video and think about these questions and then try to answer yourself. And meanwhile, I will also try to provide you the explanation part. Okay. Okay. So what is the primary goal of usability testing? So the right answer for this question is option B, to evaluate user satisfactions and efficiencies. Okay. So let me ask you something. What is the point of designing a stunning, cutting edge digital product if the user struggles just to click a button for or find a menu, right? So usability testing is not about checking if your product is pretty. It's not about winning design awards, and it's definitely not about impressing stakeholders in boardroom. So the heart of usability testing lies in serving the real human being. Okay, so who will use your product? It's about diving deep into how real users interact with the system. That is very, very important. So we observe them, we listen to their frustration, and we feel their confusion, and we fix it. So it's an act of empathy, not just engineering. So we are talking about maximizing user satisfaction, minimizing cognitive load, enhancing efficiency, and ensuring that each interaction is smooth, seamless, and intuitive. So you are literally walking in the user's shoes and fixing every stone in their path. So remember this, if the user can't use it easily, you haven't designed it, you have decorated it. Let me repeat, if the users can't use it easily, so you haven't designed it, you have decorated it. So the correct answer for this particular question is option B, to evaluate user satisfaction and efficiency is very, very important. So which is the primary goal of usability testing. Okay, I hope uh, it clear to everyone. And now you can also check the right answer and the question part on your screen in the next slide. Please go through this slide. As I have written here, The primary goal of usability testing is to ensure that the product meets user needs in terms of ease of use. So efficiency and satisfaction. It involves observing how users interact with the system to identify areas where improvement can be made. Okay, so B is the right answer. So moving ahead to our next question. So our next question is on your screen. Which usability heuristic emphasizing the importance of providing feedback to users? Please pause the video and try to answer these questions. And meanwhile, I will also provide the explanation part in just few seconds. Please pause and do some brain exercise. And then I will provide the explanation part. Okay, what is the question number two? Which usability heuristic emphasize the importance of providing feedback to users? Okay, great. So imagine you are uploading a document online, right? And you click upload and nothing happens. So no message, no spinning wheel, no progress bar. Okay, you wait, and then you ask yourself, did it work? Is it stuck? Should I click again? So this is nightmare for users. So the system has gone silent. So it's like being on phone call and suddenly the other person mute forever. So that's where the visibility of system status swept in like a superhero. So it's all about keeping users informed at every moment. So, hey, your file is uploading. Done. File uploaded. So that's the kind of feedback loop users care. So this heuristic is the heartbeat of trust between system and users. If users don't know what's happening, they will lose access and out of control. And in usability design, user anxiety is your worst enemy. So always ensure your system talks to the users loud, clear, and confidently. Okay, so the correct answer for this particular question is option A. Visibility of system status is the right answers. And now you can see the right answers as well as explanation part on your next upcoming slides on your screen. Please go through them. As I have written here, visibility of system status ensures that users are always informed about the current stage of the system. For example, when a file is being downloaded, a progress bar provides feedback about the that download status. Right? I hope this question is clear to everyone. Okay, so now next. So next is question number three. What is common method used in usability testing to observe user behavior? Let me repeat the questions. What is a common method used in usability testing to observe user behavior? Option A, surveys. Option B, eye-checking studies. Option C, focus groups. And option D, interviews. Please pause the video, go through these questions and do some brain storms. Okay, do some exercise and then I will also provide you explanation part in just a few seconds. Okay, great. So let me give you the explanation. So imagine having the superpower to see exactly what your user is looking at, okay, and which button draws their attentions. So which level they skip and where they hesitate. Sound like magic, right? So, welcome to the world of eye tracking studies. So, where we enter the realm of the human attention mapping. So, these studies are not just the tests, they are windows into the user's brain. You literally track their gaze to understand their mental flow. So, did the user notice the buy now button? Did their eye get lost in machine navigation bar? So with eye tracking, we decode visual confusion and eliminate distraction. So we can pinpoint if the CTA, that is call to action, is bird, or if your design hierarchy is working as intended. So this method offers pure gold insight. So you don't even need the user to speak. So their eyes tell the story. So if you want to know what works and what fails, don't just ask users, watch where their eyes go. Okay. So the right answer for this particular question is option B, eye tracking study. So, what is the common method used in usability testing to observe user behavior is eye tracking studies. Okay, and now I'm providing you the explanation part as well as the right answer on your screen. Please go through this. So, as every 10 eye tracking studies analyze where users focus their attention on a screen or interface. So, this method provides insights into which elements attract attention and whether user can find key information easily. Okay. Okay, moving to ask next question. Question number 4. What question number 4 is asking? Which of the following is not a usability heuristic proposed by Jacob Nielsen? Please pause the video and try to answer. And then I will also provide the explanation part. Please think about it. Okay. So, Jacob Nielsen. So, the godfather of usability heuristic. He was the godfather. Jacob Nielsen was the godfather of the usability heuristic. Okay. So, his 10 principles are the 10 command commandments of usability interface design. Now look at the options. They are all powerful. Okay, they all sound legit, but only one is imposter, a wolf in the sheep's clothing. Advanced analytic integration. Sure, analytics sound impressive. Fancy dashboard boards, big data, KPIs, but has nothing to do with code usability heuristic. Okay, so Nielsen wasn't talking about data pipelines or pattern tracking. So he was focused on what the user feels, sees, and experience. So his heuristics like error recovery, consistency, and matching system to the real world are human first behavior driven guideline. So the next time you hear the advanced analytic indications, remember is for business decisions, not usability decisions. So don't confuse complexity with usability. Simply wins always. Okay. So the right answer for this question is option C is the right answer. And now you can also see the expression part on your screen. Please go through this. Okay. So moving ahead to our next question. Our next question is question number 5. Question number 5 is, what type of testing involves user performing task while observe record their behavior? Okay. Please pause video and do exercise at your home. Okay. I hope you all must go through these options. So let me provide you the explanation. So think of this like an interactive documentary. So the user is star, the observer is the narrator, and the interface is the setting. So in usability testing, we had real tasks to real user and observe their every move, every click, every pause, like behavioral scientists. So yes, this isn't a simulation. It's really in action. So you get the see moments of confusion, flashes of success, frustration when a button is hard to find, and joy when a feature works intuitively. Okay, so it's where assumptions get settled that feature you thought was brilliant. So turns out users don't even notice it. So that shortcut you believed was obvious. So users avoid it like a trap. So this is the truth serum of product design. So usability testing exposes the everything, the good and bad and the fixable. So if you really want to know if your design is working, don't guess. Watch users in action. They will teach you everything you need to know. Okay. So the right answer for this particular question is option B, usability testing. Please go through this part and then I will move forward. So as I've written here, the usability testing involves a real users performing a specific task while observed, not their actions, so errors and challenges. So this hands-on approach helps to identify the usability issues that may not be uh, apparent during design or development phases. Okay. Next is question number 6. In usability testing, what does task success rate measure? The number of errors made by the users during a task, the percentage of tasks completed successfully by users, the time taken to complete a task, or user satisfaction with task interface. What is the right answer? So let me provide the explanation part. So your user is not just performing a task; they are on missions. So every click, every score is part of grand usability adventure. So now imagine how hard Branching it, branching it would be if the fail midway. So the task success rate is the golden metric that tells you how many of you these valiant users successfully complete their quest. So if this rate is high, your design is a shining nice sword. So cutting through complexity with grace. If it's low, it's like handing your users a treasure map written in Klingon. So success rate is equals to the oxygen of usability. Okay. So the right answer for this question is option B, the percentage of tasks complete successfully by users. As you can see, I have written here the task success rate measures how effectively user complete tasks without errors or assistance. So a high success rate indicates that the system is intuitive and meets user expectations. Moving to ask next question, question number 7. Which heuristic address the need for system to prevent errors before they occur? Okay. So let's be real. Users are human, not a walking encyclopedia. So they will make a mistake. But guess what? It's your job as a designer to be there, the Gaussian angle. So the error prevention heuristic is like building visible shields in the interface. So silently intercepting chows before it strikes. So it's like placing speed bumps before a cliff. So you are literally saving users from falling off the design edges. Okay, so if usability were a superhero movie, so error prevention would be the invisible force field protecting the humanity. So the right answer for this particular question is error prevention. And now you can see the expressive part here on the screen. Sorry. So the error prevention focus on designing a system that minimize user mistakes through constraints or clear instructions. For example, disabling the irrelevant options or providing the warning before irreversible actions can help prevent errors. So let's just question number 8. What is the purpose of heuristic evaluation in usability engineering? To identify static flows in design, to evaluate the complaints with the usability principles without involving user directly, or to test software functionality under extreme conditions, to gather user feedback through surveys and interviews. What is the right answer? Okay, let me provide you the explanation part of the question number 8. So imagine a team of elite usability warriors, trained experts who don't need armies of users to identify a flawed interface. So they came in armed with license commitments and within minutes can spell a usability issues like a bloodhound tracking a trail. So heuristic evaluation is like a covered usability strike missions. No users, no drama, just raw, brutal analysis against the holy grail of design rules. So it's usability kung fu at its finest, prices fast and devastatingly effective. Okay, so the right answer for this particular question is option B, to evaluate complaints with usability principles without involving users directly is the right answer. So as you can see here, Heuristic evaluation is conducted by experts who review designs against established usability principles. Heuristics so it's faster and cheaper than user testing because it does not require a recruiting participants. So be the right answers. Next is question number 9. Which usability metric evaluates how quickly user can learn to use a system? Efficiency metric, learnability metric, satisfaction metric, or error rate metric. Okay. So learning a new system should not feel like a training for a specifications. So if your user need a user manual thicker than a Harry Potter novel, you have already failed. So the learnability metric is the sacred thought barrier that reveals how easy or nightmarishly hard so your system is to pick up. If users are crushing through tasks in their first attempt, so then congratulations, your design is a dream. If not, it's like choosing a kindergartner into a calculus exam. So learnability is a JD path. The easier to master, the stronger the system. So learnability metric is the right answer for this particular question. And now you can see the expression part. So as you can see that learnability measures how easy it is for a new users to start using a system effectively. A system with a good learnability reduce training time and frustrations for first time users. Okay. Okay, next is question number 10. Question number 10. What is the significance of recognitions rather than recall in usability heuristic? Okay. Memory is a fragile. Okay. Even the brightest minds forget where they park their car. So why make user recall the command line Bodo when they could just recognize the right option with a gentle glance? So this principle is like a personal assistant whispering the right answer in your ear uh, at the so the principle is like a personal assistant whispering the right answers in your ear at the perfect time. So recognitions over a recall says don't make user sweet so that guide them, lead them. So it transforms your interface from a pop quiz to a guided tool. Okay. So option B, system should help users remember information easily is the sorry. So B is the right answer. System should minimize the user's memory load by presenting option clearly. Is the right answer. As you can see here on your screen that I have written that this heuristic ensures that information needed for a task is uh, readily available rather than requiring users to remember it from previous interactions. For instance, drop-down menus allow users to recognize options instead of recalling commands. Moving ahead to ask next questions. Next one is question number 11. Which heuristic ensures that user can easily exit an unwanted state or actions? So imagine being trapped in a maze. So no map, no way out, panic sets in. So that's exactly how users feel without this powerful heuristic. So user control and freedom is like a giving them a magic portal, uh, parachutes, and the escape hatch. So they click the wrong button, no worries. There is an undo. So they change their mind mid form. Boom, cancel. Okay, so this is freedom, liberty, and democracy for users. So it's revolutions against interface tyranny. So the right answer for this particular question is option A, user control and freedom is the right answer. So as you can see here that this heuristic emphasizes giving users to the ability to undo or redo actions easily. For example, providing a cancel button during form submission allow user it to exit if they change their mind. Okay. Moving to our next question. Next one is question number 12. What type of usability testing involves comparing two designs to determine which perform better? Option A, comparative testing, exploratory testing, summative testing, or formative testing. Okay. So two design, one thrown, only the best cell rule. So comparative testing is the battle arena where A and B fight to the death. Okay, not literally. So and you, the designers, are the referee. So you watch as a real user interact, measure their success, frustrations, joy, and then crown a winner. So this is utility version of gladiator match. So let the best design win. Okay. So the right answer for this particular question is comparative testing. Option A is the right answer. So as you can see here, the comparative testing evaluates two or more design. For example, A by B testing to determine which one offers better usability. So this method helps the designers choose the best option based on real world data. Okay. So moving ahead to ask next question. I think question number 13 or 14. Okay, question number 13. Which tool is commonly used for remote usability testing? Eye track device, screen recording software, physical prototype, or paper mockup? Okay, so you are not in the room, you are not watching over their shoulder, but the screen recording software is like you are reading minds from afar. So every mouse twist, twist so every confused pause, every scroll of disappear capture. So it's the digital eye of Saru, so powerful, all seeing the always record. So remote testing becomes an epic usability surveillance operation, all without disturbing the user's natural behavior. So the right answer for this particular question is screen recording software is the right answer. Okay. As you can see there, here that screen recording software captures user interactions remotely, allowing evaluations to analyze behavior without being physical present. So this tool is particularly useful for geographical disparate teams. Okay, now moving ahead to ask next question. Question number 40. Why is consistency and understand important in usability design? So it ensures aesthetic appeal across system, or it helps user predict system behavior based on familiar conventions, or it reduce system errors during operation, or it enhance the system reliability for advanced user. Okay, so imagine if every app used a different symbol for a sake. So one has a floppy disk, another uses a cloud, and one even has a cartoon penguin. So user would lose their mind, right? So consistency and the standards are like the grammar rules of user interface. So they bring order to chow. So they let users feel safe, confident, and in a control. So without consistency, every app is a new planet with aligned laws with it. The galaxy speaks on language usability. So the right answer for this particular question is it helps user predict system behavior based on familiar conventions. Sorry. So as you can see here, that consistency ensures that similar element behave similarly across systems, reducing cognitive load for users who rely on familiar patterns like standard icon or navigation structures. So next one is question number 15. Which heuristic focus on reducing unnecessary element in our design? So a match between system and real world, flexibility and efficiency of use, aesthetic and minimalist design, help and documentations. So welcome to the Zen temple of usability, where culture is enemy and simplicity is divine. So aesthetic and minimalistic designs cuts, uh, cuts through the noise like a samurai shot through sail. So no flashing banner, no 10 button toolbars, no buy now, pop-ups raining down like a digital confetti, just clean lines, calm visuals, and focus. So it's not just design, it's an act of digital meditation. So aesthetic and minimalist design is the correct answer. So let me repeat the question. Which heuristic focus on reducing unnecessary elements in design? Aesthetic and minimalist design. Okay. So as you can see, this heuristic advocates for a simplicity by removing irrelevant elements from interface. Minimalist designs reduce distractions and help users focus on completing tasks efficiently. Okay. Next one is question number 16. What does time on task measure in utility evaluation? The total time spent by developers on creating a task interface, the time taken by users to complete a specific task, the duration for system updates during task execution, the average time spent by testers during usability studies. Okay. So every second a user spends on a task is like a drop in a bucket of frustration or satisfaction. So time on task is the stopwatch that tells you whether your interface is a jet engine or a snail on vacation. So fast time. Your UI is sleek, intuitive, Formula One level fast, slow time. So your interface is like quick extend, pulling users into a pit of despair. So this metric is the plus of your system's performance. Ignore it at your peril. So the correct answer for this particular question is option B. The time taken by users to complete a specific task is the correct one. Okay. So as you can see here, the time on task measures how long it takes for users to complete a task, including efficiency and ease of use. Is the right. So the right answer for this question is the time taken by user to complete a specific task. Next, question number 70. Which heuristic ensures that error messages are easy to understand? Help a user recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors, or visibility of system status recognitions rather than recall. So flexibility and efficiency of use. So let me explain. So every second a user spends on a task is sorry, just a minute. Question number 17. Which heuristic ensures that error messages are easy to understand? So though every scene or error message like error 509, recomplied, hacks, stream overflow. So what even is that? So this heuristic is your translator, your emergency responder, your therapist for energy user. So it says don't scare the user, help them, hold their hand. So clear error messages are the difference between range quitting and calmly fixing a small hiccup. So the correct answer for this particular question is help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. So as you can see there, this heuristic focused on providing a clear error message and help user identify issues and take corrective actions easily. Okay. Next one is question number 18. What is the primary benefit of conducting usability testing early in the development? So imagine discovering a critical design flow after lunch. So that's not just a problem, that's a disaster movie. So early usability testing is like catching the villain before they blow up the city. So you save time, money, reputations, and your sanity. So it's keeping early testing, that's like building a spaceship without checking the fuel. So thanks, boom. So as you can see here, identifying usability problem early prevent costly redesigns later in development or after product release is the right answer. So the right answer for this question is option A, reduce development cost due to early identification of issues. Alright, what's the next question? Question number 90. In heuristic evaluation, who typically reviews the design for compliance with usability principles? End users, usability expert, developers, marketing professionals. Okay, let me repeat the question. In heuristic evaluation, who typically reviews the design for compliance with usability principles? So these are not your average user. So these are the SACs, the grandmaster, the Gandalf level mind of usability. So usability experts can look at the interface and within minutes smell hidden errors like truffle pigs snuffing out problems bird deep in the soil of your UI. Okay, so their wisdom save your design from loot. Treat their feedback like a sacred scripture. Okay, so the right answer for this particular question is option B. Usability expert is the right answer. Okay, so as you can see here, that heuristic evaluation is conducted by usability expert who review designs against established usability principle heuristic to identify potential issues. Okay. Next is question number 20. Which metric measures user satisfaction with the product's usability? Efficiency metric, error rate metric, satisfaction metric, or learnability metric? Please pause the video and do the exercise. After that, I will also provide the explanation part. So I hope you all has gone through these questions. Let me repeat the question. Which metric measures user satisfaction with the product's usability? Option A, efficiency metric. Option B, error rate metric. Option C, satisfaction metric. Or option D, learnability metric. So at the end of the day, you can track click, time, errors, but satisfaction is the ultimate truth. It's the smile after a smooth checkout. So the sign of relief after a well-written form. So the joy of not yelling at your screen. So this metric is the applause at the end of your design concert. And trust me, you want a standing ovation. So the correct answer for this particular question is option C. Satisfaction metric is the right answer. Okay, and as you can see that I have well written here that satisfaction matrix measures a subjective feedback from testers about their experience with the system, indicating how well the product meets user expectation. So option C, satisfaction metric is the correct one. Okay. So yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you all will watch this video later. So thank you so much. Now I'm officially closing the sessions. Okay. Thank